Hello everybody, welcome to Illustrator Jones once again. Yes, it's another Scribble Sketch episode, so actually that's the only kind of episodes I do. So here we go, let's see what we can draw today, and we'll do the scribble now, so closing my eyes, here we go, let's see what we can do. Okay. That's the scribble for today. Is it? Is it really? Yes, it is. Okay, what could that be? So let's just start sticking some eyes on, I think, like I said on the other video. Yeah. What is that gonna be? Could be a shark? Couldn't it? If I put a fin on there, it could be a shark. Don't know. Whatever it is, it's majorly annoyed. Now there's a new film. It reminds me a little bit of Dunny. No, that's not right. Dune. There you go. Dunny is Australian for toilet. If you didn't know already. Anyway, yeah, this that's what it reminds me a little bit of, but I think mine are more scary at the end of the day. It's funny, isn't it, Dune? I'm going to have to go back and watch David Lynch's version of Dune. I've got it on DVD somewhere. I think I bought it dead cheap, you know. I just love the models in it. It's so un-Star Wars, isn't it? I was never that taken with the story or the film at all, to be honest. I found it a bit weird. But yeah, here it goes. I wanted to draw something now, obviously coming away from it, and it was a bit like the truck from Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's what it reminded me. That's what I wanted to draw, something like that, you know. And Seamus Gumshoe sticking his head out the window, shouting out something. Well, you know what he do you know what he shouts out? I don't think you do you? No, you won't until the end, because I don't think I put it on the what do you call it? The thumbnail of the video. Now, if you're wondering why, Chris, has this gone to full speed? To speed it up now, and whereas the last one was, it was in normal speed watching me draw. This drawing took me 3 hours and 3/4 hours to do, from beginning to end. It was nearly half a day's work, and I did save it. I saved the whole thing in one big lump, with soundtrack and everything, music, and it was 16 gig in size. It was massive. It was huge, and it was nearly 4 hours long. Now, I doubt that you want to see me draw worms for 4 hours, do you? No, you can't do. If you do want to watch me draw for nearly 4 hours, from beginning to end, I'm going to put it on Patreon. Now, if you want to watch it on Patreon, you can subscribe to Patreon, become a member, and you can watch the whole thing slowly. But if you watch this one, there's no point really. But if you do, if you're interested in that kind of thing, if you want to watch it, you could watch it in segments, couldn't you, I suppose? But I just thought, for a YouTube video, it's a bit long, isn't it? 4 hours, nearly 4 hours. Yeah, it was a lot of work. This is what I get for listening to people commenting. They think I can't draw just a single character, I like to draw the background. So I thought, alright, I'll draw the background. It took me 4 hours. I did enjoy it though. I enjoyed it far too much. So this I really liked this drawing. When I finished it was good. It was okay. It did, I didn't get upset over it too much. But yeah, I just thought 4 hours is too long. 3 3/4 hours is too long to watch me draw. But if you want to, I will stick it on Patreon. and become a patron, and you can watch it. Yeah, and there's another thing I've forgotten to tell. I'm not filming myself doing the video. I'm just doing the voiceover because it's knackering doing all this. And I've forgotten. I am so sorry. So please forgive me for not being in the corner showing my ugly mug, as I normally do. But yeah, it's just me drawing today. And if you look at the top left hand corner of me drawing, I'm what's the word? I'm talking as I'm going. I put the soundtrack on. I thought, what's that noise? It was I was like, what? Oh, it's me. I was like talking like one of the chipmunks. Chippendales, you remember those? Hated that cartoon. Absolutely hated it. Chippendales, ridiculous. Then they did it. Oh no, was it Melvin and the Chipmunks or something? Oh, that was even worse. Anyway, yeah, so I'm sticking a bit of a road in the background to show you this. What that's doing is giving you the scale of the creatures behind. So you've got the truck. You know how big a human is. You know how big a little truck, a truck is, and that's jumping over the bank. And of course, the road behind is giving you the idea. Well, if this car was right in the distance, how big are those worms? They're massive. They're absolutely gigantic. So it was, yeah, if you're drawing something and you want to make it look big, try and think of something you can use to give it scale. It's not easy to do, I got to admit. It doesn't always come to me, but the road kind of worked that, I think. But yeah, I put lots and lots of detail into this one. I went mad on it. Now then, do you want to see me on the screen? I've only just started, haven't I? So I think I'll pause it here for a second, and then I'll come on screen. I'll stick it on. Give me a minute. Okay. Hey everybody, we're back. Sorry about that. Forgot to put the camera on. Anyway, there we go. So we're back to the pencil now, and we're just putting all the characters in, just doing all the rough sketches. And yeah, I quite like this one. I like the idea of this one. It worked really well. They don't always, Never mind. But yeah, I hope it just inspires you to have a go at drawing. Get some paper, pencil, an eraser, cheap as chips, and have a go at drawing. And if you enjoy it, then you can go and buy yourself some pens and colouring pens and that kind of thing, and you'll enjoy it even more then. It's a great hobby and pastime. It always has been for me. It's always been a hobby for me. Ever since I was a kid, I used to get the Beano and I used to sit there and copy pictures out of the Beano. That's how I started. Just copy pictures out of things. So if you want to, you can go and on my website, the link is in the description below, and you can download loads of black and white copies of these drawings. And if you want to, trace them, copy them, colour them in, have a laugh. Start that way. You might think, oh, I've never picked up a pencil before. I've only ever, I used to draw when I was in school, kind of thing. Haven't done it since. Do that. Just start off like that. It's wonderful. It really is. It just gets your brain working in a creative way, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it's just trying to get that tongue. Can you see that tongue at the, on the second worm? I want it to look like it's just about to grab the truck, with our hero in it. So yeah, I planned to do this as a long video, but it was too big. It was just too big. I could do a shorter one. I'll do a short one, with just a single character again. and try and fit it within an hour. I can do that again, I think. It just won't be as detailed as this. It got really... I just enjoyed it. When you're enjoying something, you don't notice the time going by, do you? It's, you know... The hours went by and I hadn't realised. So yeah, using the thick pen again at the front of the drawing, what you want as the main characters, make those with thick lines. Draw those with thick lines so that they stand off the page and they look like they're in the foreground, not the background. Because if you drew it with a very thin pen and then you drew the background with a very thick pen, you'd end up with a confused look of the drawing. You see, it would look all right, but you know, you would notice the worms before you noticed Seamus and the shrug. So what it does is it leads the eye into the drawing from the thick pen going thinner and thinner, you know, a smaller fine liner as you go towards the background. When you get to the mountains, the pen is just a very, very thin line. It's just to get you to get the brain to work, you know, somebody who's looking at your drawing or yourself. But yeah, so I put these sticky outy lamps on the truck, which I really like. The only thing is, if anybody's had got kids from say the 2000s, do you remember a thing called Brum? It was just a little car. It was obviously a remote control car that they had, and it had big headlights like that with eyes on it, you know. I used to go around the city and have adventures and stuff like that. I looked at this and I went, oh no, I've just drawn Brum. In the US you might not have heard of Brum, I don't know. No idea. It was a kids program. It was on at the same time as the Teletubbies and all that business, you know, and Balamory. We used to know the theme tunes and the songs to it all. So when the kids were young, you know, we'd sit in the car and if they get bored, we'd start singing the songs from these shows, and the kids would go, oh yeah, no, and we'd be singing them at the top of our lungs, and the kids singing them. They used to think that. They used to think that. Well, they used to love that. They used to get all excited. There was one program they loved called Come Outside. I've forgotten the actress's name. She used to be in Open All Hours. Played Nurse Gladys, I think it was. And she used to have this dog called Pip. Was it? I think so. Oh, the kids loved that. And we knew the theme tune so well. We'd go through the whole thing. Anyway, you don't want to read about that rubbish. My kid's childhood. So yeah, just adding detail now with the fine liner. So once you've done the actual outline of the drawing in the thick pen, in the brush pen or whatever it is you're going to use, to the detail like his eyeballs, his mouth, you know, the lights, the little lights and things, is to use a fine liner then. But you've highlighted the drawing by using the thick line on the outside of it, you see. So don't do all the drawings inside with the thick pen, because it'll look very, very heavy. And also you won't be able to get a lot of detail in there because, you know, the pen's that much thicker. So as you've noticed there, I've got a finer nib pen. So I'm drawing my cacti now. I think that's the plural for cactus, isn't it? Cacti. Now please, any botanists who are mad enough to watch this video, I don't know what a real cactus looks like. I just did it from my imagination and my memory, you know. And yeah, so please don't write in and go, it's not an accurate description of a cactus, mate. You know, the cacti of this desert shouldn't look like that. You're probably right. Now, some of you said that the last video I did, because it was all slowed down, was very relaxing, more, you know, enjoyable. I'm sorry. If I will try and do another one in real time. I'll swap and change them, because, you know, if some of you like that, then it's worth doing then, isn't it? I've just got to make sure I keep it down to an hour. Because it's difficult to keep, to do a drawing like that, then colour it all in and everything, and do all the business, and talking about it at the same time in half an hour. I don't know if I could do that. I'm not sure. But I tell you, you'll notice a mistake later. Well, you won't notice it probably. But I'll forget to print it out and scan it in and print the black and white out. So I end up coming in here the next day and sitting down and then just starting colouring it, forgetting that I hadn't printed it out. Because I like to put it in the scanner, maybe tidy it up a touch, and then print it out and then colour in the printout. I forgot. So as I was doing this, I was a little bit more stressed, because I thought, if I mess this up now, it's back to the drawing board, quite literally, having to do it again. But it turned out alright. I was really shocked that my colour choices, what I used, is like, okay, fair enough, that's alright. Yeah, this was a bit, I found this a bit difficult. Just trying to draw the explosion around the creature as it comes out of the soil, and what that would look like, trying to put that in the form of a drawing. Not easy, that. Now, this is loosely based on a movie that I absolutely adore, a real monster movie called Tremors, with Kevin Bacon. What? I remember I never saw it in the cinema or anything. I just saw it on the telly one night, and I'm sitting there watching it, and probably on this little 14-inch telly. I thought it was one of the best things I'd seen in years when I was young, And I still do now. I watched it with our kids recently. They hadn't seen it, and we watched it, and I thought it was brilliant. And it's all practical effects. There's no CGI in it. In the later ones there is. Anyway, Tremors, or the Graboids as they name them. Graboids. Love that movie. Fantastic. Still watch that now, and it still it creeps me out. It was basically Jaws on land. That's what the whole premise was for the story. Jaws on land. Which upset me greatly, because I hate going in the water because of sharks, because of Jaws. And now on land, it's got, I think, oh my word, go to a desert, I'm going to be eaten by one of these graboids. But anyway, that's what this came from. It wasn't necessarily Dune. Yeah, I haven't seen the new ones. I don't know, just doesn't interest me at all. They may be absolutely brilliant. You may be screaming at me now going, Chris, go and have a look, go watch those films, they're really, really good. So I will do, one day. Even the Star Wars stuff is leaving me a bit cold. It's all the same. It's all the same. It's just, I don't know. They overdo it, don't they? Disney are just like, wringing their neck out of these stories. All right, how many do we need to see? It was great when there was just 3 or 6. That was marvellous, And then they did a few later on, didn't they? Which were they were okay. They're pumping them out now, though, like they're out of style. Anyway, so I'm drawing this tongue now. So yeah, going to a thicker pen. As it comes closer to the car, the tongue, the line for the tongue needs to get thicker, so that it's giving you the impression that it's close to the truck now. You better cross-hatching underneath there to make it look like it's bending over. So you can imagine that as the tongue. Am I doing it right? There we go. You can see the shading underneath here and the brightness on here. That'd be the sun. I'm trying to add more content with regards to actually drawing it, although it's the same as every single one I do. trying to get those eyeballs on that second worm was quite difficult, because he's looking at you like that. It was really difficult to get that angle correct. Aye. We're drawing some stones in the foreground now, just to make it look like, you know, the land travels like that. Gives you a sense of distance then. Because if you left it just flat, going towards the worm, it'd be a bit empty then. So, can you see me gibbering in the picture? It's because, there we go, look. If you want to see what I'm saying, if you want to watch me talking, if you want to watch me talking, if you want to listen to what I'm saying, I'll try and put it on Patreon, but I think 16 gigs is going to be too big. I'm not sure they're going to let me do that. But anyway. Yeah, I think it's about £2 a month, and if you want to watch that, it's, I think, you know, I don't know anymore. Were you offended that I had mentioned that I've got a PayPal donate button on the channel? Because on that video, hardly anybody watched it. Did I overstep my mark? Did I go bounding over my steps? If I did, I apologise. It's just, I would like to do this as a job. I really would. I would like to earn money from this, you know, one day. To make something that you love doing, and drawings that you enjoy drawing, you know, that belong to you and not somebody else. Oh, look. Oh, we're going to colour already. Now, if you notice this face, look, I put this face on, the colour on this chappie's face. I realise I've just used the wrong pink. It's like bright sunburned pink. I have to revert that. I do pull it back a little. Yeah, a little bit of white acrylic ink. Put on very lightly, dropped it back a little bit. I just go on about what colours to choose mostly when you watch the other one. You know, what colour shall I use now? Oh, that one, no, I won't use that one. I have a fight with it later on with the green on the truck. Because I have this idea of doing something with a truck I've never done before. Camouflage. My dog is knocking on the door, wants to come in. But yeah, it's... oh, yes, there we go. What I'm doing, lightly putting in a pencil line so I know where I want to put the camouflage in. And I can't use the same greens I've used on the soldiers because they will... it'll all blend and muck together, you know. Just use a light green and a greeny yellow. Now, in a second, I can't figure it out. I miss a bit, you see. Thank goodness it's sped up. I sit there for ages trying to figure out what green I used because I couldn't remember. Where did he go then? He disappeared. I could have worn a nicer t-shirt, couldn't I? Did you look at the state of me? Looks like I've just been dragged through a hedge backwards. As my dad would say. Oh dear. He's jabbering on up there, look, he's talking to himself now. Anyway, so I've just started watching a movie today called Mum and Dad Save the World. The reason being is there's a thing called, is it Pierce Films? It's all about, from the 80s and I think through the 90s as well, all these people that used to work on these movies, special effects movies with, you know, practical effects and models and things. All these model makers come and tell you their story, you see, which I find fascinating. Don't know why. And so they were talking about Mum and Dad Save the World, this movie, you know, and they had this car flying towards this planet. Well, it's obvious that it's a model, you know. But it's beautiful. It really is lovely. And I thought, I'm going to watch that. It's very, very daft. but very funny actually. It's very cartoon, comic-y thing, you know. The planet that they go to, I forget what it's called now. I've only watched a bit of it. They're all thick as bricks. Yeah, now here we go. We're oh, you can watch that for free on YouTube. Somebody's put it on YouTube. Yeah, choosing a really warm colour to be in the foreground, because the ones that go further back are going to have to be a lot cooler or more pale, more pastel colours. Yeah, colouring the inside of their mouths. Oh yeah. So what colour shall I do with ground? Is that what I'm asking? I think so. Because I was scared. I was worried about what colour shall I do the worms. I don't know. So I was leaving that until the very, very final thing to do, and it was like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't want to do them yellow or anything because they'll blend in with the landscape. They've got to be something that will. No green. I don't want to do any green back there because I want that to be separate from the truck. No browns really to that degree. Beiges mostly I went for. I did a lot of. In America, I think you say debris, don't you? I think so. Here we call it debris. Although that does sound like it. That word sounds like a name, doesn't it? This is my daughter, Debris. and my other daughter, Deborah. Or Debris. Yeah, that does sound hard, doesn't it? Anyway, I digress, as usual. Yeah, so I'm trying to. I'm working, you see, and I'm under pressure because I know this is the drawing. I can't. If I make a mistake now, it'd have to be fixed on the computer, which I didn't really want to do. So all this from a scribble. I had no idea I was going to draw worms. Oh, the punchline makes me laugh that I put in later. When I show you it at the end, you'll see the punchline, the joke, you know. Oh yeah, you haven't seen it yet because I haven't shown that on the what do you call it? The thumbnail. Shown some of it, but I do like to give the characters something to say. Make a story out of it. Right, so I'm still scared of doing these worms, you see. So I'm thinking now, right, I'm going to do the dust that's flying up in the air. How am I going to do that? And I picked this cream colour. And yeah, it was alright, it came together. Got a bit of the yellow underneath to give it, you know, as if it's got shading underneath it. I was quite happy with that. I was surprised, I was pleasantly surprised how that came out. So I'm avoiding the worm still, I'm putting in the sky now. Yeah, I love this blue, it's really nice. So I'm going to use the same blue that I used in the sky for the shading on the worms and that kind of thing. I use a darker blue on the actual truck and Seamus and everything because I want that to be darker, you know, because it's closer to. So yeah, I'm using the same blue as I used in the sky for all the shadows and bits and pieces. Now I wasn't happy with the land masses behind the mountains because they were a bit too warm, so I just went over them with very fine lines like cross-hatching, and instead of just going over it with a solid colour, because I wanted to see some of the warm colour coming through, so I just did lines like that. And you don't notice once the drawing's finished, you don't notice, but it does drop them back a bit more. So there's all these little bits and pieces, isn't it? So yeah, different blue now. There's a lot more darker blue. Well, not a huge amount darker, but I wanted the car to look like it's, if you can imagine that as the hill, and it's just gone like that, and as if its back wheels are still up in the air and the front wheels haven't quite touched the ground yet. Well, they're nearly there. So yeah, I'm adding more shade into this now. So the fella inside, I've shaded him a lot. And his hands on the steering wheel have left little bits still bright. Oh, hello, he's getting brave, he's going to the tongue. So that, yeah, notice how, and I went for the pink. I went for a pink worm. Worms are pink, aren't they? But purpley pink it was. But you know what? It only went and worked. Well, you might not think it did. You might think this is rubbish. I went for a paler pink at the background because I wanted that to look further away from him. Again, to exaggerate the scale. And then I added the same pink on him onto his tail. Now I drew him with the bright pink and then added the darker pink on. And that worked to separate the two worms from each other. So the one in the front is a bit darker than the one in the back. You really do have to think on your feet, you know. It's, but it all comes with practice. Not that this is any good, but you know, it comes with practice. You get used to just noticing these kind of little details, you know, the shadows now in the tongue. So making the tongue is in here. It's going to be in shade because it's inside his mouth. Yeah. So I didn't know what to do with his belly, so I did it yellow, and lo and behold, it was the right choice. I don't know. Billy Gore, yeah. They've already been eating stuff they shouldn't be. Bit of red now, because this makes them stand out as well. The red. As soon as you put red on, oh, that was the wrong blue then. Just then, I used the wrong blue. Yeah, add in the blue now, just under the chin, around the belly. Yeah. So apologies if this is not what you expected this week, because last week, was it last week I did one? Am I doing more videos at the moment? I am, I think. I can't remember where I am in the weeks. So putting some speed lines, you know, movement lines around the truck. Now I do some stuff on the computer. I put some movement lines in, but basically that's it. And I didn't want to do any more on the video because I thought it was long enough as it is. So I'll show you what the end result's like in a minute. But it's all coming together now. I really like the drawing. I like the concept of the story. The punchline's very funny. I think it's funny. You might think it's gross and horrible, you know. You'll probably all unsubscribe as soon as you see it. Talking about disgusting things again, Chris. It's funny, isn't it? The things that make you laugh and make you giggle. It's always toilet humour with me. It's, you know, my dad goes, oh no, toilet humour again. You know, like it doesn't make him laugh, does it? I did the gas laugh again. When I was doing the live bit, you hear me, I don't know, what was that? What kind of laugh was that? I turned into Car from Jungle Book. Trust in me. Oh, everybody's going now, just in me. Oh dear. So I added the Posca now. We're coming to the end, you'll be thankful to know. You'll be all going, oh, thank goodness for that. We're nearly finished. Oh, I didn't realise it's gone up to 35 minutes. I do apologise. I thought I'd sped it up more. Yeah. It's nearly there. It's a great picture. It's going to make a great poster, I think. Because the books I'm doing, I'm on the third one at the moment. I'm colouring it in now if anybody wants to know. But this might be a story later on. I might go back to these drawings and actually develop, you know, separate little stories about Seamus Gumshoe and his life on Steppington. Or is this on Earth? Is this back on Earth? Oh, who knows? Who knows? I do.
Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. See you soon. Bye.